The overhand shuffle is one of the most useful moves in all of card magic. There are so many deceptive things you can do with this powerful tool in card magic, and so today in this video I'd like to share with you 5 tips on the overhand shuffle and what you can do with it. Let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing that I want to show you with this overhand shuffle is this, just a normal everyday overhand shuffle. But what I just did is controlled 4 cards, in this case the 4 aces. And this is the age-old just jog shuffle, and I think this move is underrated and underused, and it shouldn't be because you just saw how wonderful it can look and how deceptive it can be. So here's some tips on this jog shuffle. Alright, so let's say we want to control the 4 aces. They're just on top of the deck, okay? So I'll leave them face up so we can follow them a little bit more clearly. So the first step in doing the jog shuffle is first establishing a jog while you're doing the overhand shuffle. So what you want to do is move the deck to overhand shuffle position like this to where it's perpendicular to the table, okay? So now what you want to do is chop off about half the deck like this. Alright, so this hand is raising up about half the deck from the bottom. This thumb is just pulling off about half the deck like this. And that's your starting position for your overhand shuffle like this, okay? So this thumb is always controlling cards the whole time. Alright, so what you want to do is the first card you want to actually jog down on top of the aces like this. And of course, if you're doing this, you know, everybody's going to see that jogged card. So a good touch on this is necktying the deck, alright? So when you're in this position, you can't even see what's going on back there, but I have that giant jog, but it's hidden because of the necktie condition of the deck like this. So after that first jog, you want to just keep doing this in a sloppy manner like this. Maybe one right here. You can go like back and forth like this. And at this point, even if you do tilt your hand like this, you can't really notice anything tricky or shady about the deck, okay? So, but you all the time you have this jog that's on top of the aces there. Alright, so once again, here's the aces on top. You just do your chop off move like this, necktie the deck so they can't see that first in jog, right? So when you're here, they can't see that. So in full speed, you're like this. And you can't even see what's going on back there because of that necktie position. Alright, so just keep shuffling off normally on top like this. Now at this point, people will normally tell you to just contact the jog and just cut the deck to the break, right? But I feel like people who tell you to do that and people who do that don't like the jog shuffle and haven't mastered it completely, because I feel like that's the easy way to do it and that's the easy way out. And I really feel like doing the rest of the jog shuffle is a more deceptive move, okay? So here's how you can do that, and here's a tip on that second part of the jog shuffle for you. Alright, so once you establish your jog and you shuffle it off the half the deck, what you want to do is immediately contact that jog like this from behind with your thumb. Alright, the whole pad of your thumb is contacting that jog there. Alright, so you can see what I'm doing. I'll expose this more so you can see what's happening, but normally it wouldn't be this much. This is exaggerated for you. Alright, so what you're going to do is contact that jog with your thumb like this, and that's going to open the deck, okay? So all you're going to do is contact that card from the back, from the bottom of the card, and just push up and in, and that's going to cause a big break now in the deck. Alright, so you're looking at sort of like an A shape, okay, right now. Alright, so once you have that, and again, that necktie hides that big break, and that's why people don't like to do it, because they say that, oh, they'll see that big break, but not if you necktie it. I mean, you can't see it from here. Alright, so now that you have this big jog, what's going to happen is that you just keep it as you shuffle off the cards like this, and once you get about, I don't know, 4 or 5 cards from the break, just drop them off like this, and then drop everything remaining, okay? So once again, establish your jog, do that, right, shuffle off, and this is exaggerated, it wouldn't be this much, normally it would just be like this, right, but I'm doing this to teach you. Alright, so here's your jog, come up from behind and underneath, push up and in, that gets you your break. Now just shuffle off to the break like this, and then when you get about a few cards away, just simply toss them on top like this, and then toss the rest on top. Now, a lot of people, when they do this, they sort of wait a beat like this. They get their jog and then do it. But you want to do it in one fluid motion, as if it's just one shuffle, all right? So instead of doing it in 2 beats and 2 shuffles, you want to make it look like it's just one shuffle. And here's how you do it. Just do it immediately, all right? So as soon as you touch that card, you want to start chopping off right away. All right, so as soon as this hand contacts that card, immediately chop off a block. So it's this fast. Just like this. So they happen at the same time. All right. So once again, both actions happen at once. All right. So there's no hesitation or delay with those movements. All right. So once that thumb contacts that card, you immediately chop off that block. Boom, like that, and then shuffle off. There's no hesitation and no delay. It's all just looks like one shuffle. So here it is in full speed, and I'll leave them face up, okay? So you're like this, boom, and you see how quickly I did that. As soon as my thumb hit that card, I went into the shuffle right away, and that gets you your aces or one card or whatever you want to do it back on top of the deck. And that is how you do the jog shuffle more deceptively. All right, so the second move, or the second tip that I have for you, is a way to do the old slip shuffle. You keep a card on the bottom with an overhand shuffle like this. Everybody knows the slip shuffle, but there's a way to do it face down and keep that top card in place, as if you're doing the slip shuffle, but it's sort of a top slip shuffle. And this is called the Status Quo Shuffle by Harry Lorraine. And I'm surprised I never see more people doing it. It's not talked about enough, and it's underrated, underused, and I think a lot of people just don't know about it. All right, so which is a shame. All right, so what it looks like is this. So let's say we want to control the king of hearts, or keep it on top like this. So just do a regular shuffle like this, and it's always on top, no matter what. All right, just like this, just like you would for the bottom slip. All right, so what's happening here is this. I'll turn it face up. What you're going to do is sort of hold it like this in a modified overhand shuffle position. What I mean by that is you want to have your index finger wrapped around the edge like this, so it's contacting that top card, okay? So if I just simply let go, you'll see what's happening there. That top card stays in place because that index finger is holding it back as I drop cards like this. So you're not using your thumb to drag cards off, you're simply just tossing cards into your hand from underneath that card, and it just stays in place with your index. Okay, so you're like this, and that just stays in place the whole time you're shuffling cards. And you might think that's kind of bold, but it's really not. Like I said, you always want to maintain that neck tight position, and nothing will ever be seen with these shuffles. So the third tip, or the third move that I have for you with these overhand shuffles, is sort of a funny gag for magicians and or a layman. It doesn't really matter, but mainly for magicians. It's a way to get one past them, right? So let's say that I really wanted to lose a card like this Ace of Spades in the middle of the deck somewhere like this. All right, so maybe we do something like this. You can see there's no way I can get to that card now. Really, there's no way I can get to it because it's on top of the deck. All right, so it's basically a way to over dramatize a jog, and you want people to focus on the jog so much that they think that's how you're going to control the card, but you're already way ahead of them because you've already controlled it anyway. All right, so what you're going to do, I'll leave it face up. You're going to do this. You want to exaggerate a jog, all right? And I'm talking like this, so you really want to make sure somebody sees it like this, okay? So the same thing as before, that first jog shuffle, you actually want to do that, but you're going to do a fake jog. You're going to just jog any card, all right? So you'll really lift up at the jog like this to establish that break like before, right? So that's the ace right there. Now, at some point right here, as you're shuffling off, you're just going to jog extremely any random card, and then shuffle off like this, and then to your break, right? So they see that big jog in there and say, there's no way I can get to that card, as you push that in and put it on the table, and they're like, wait, he just pushes jog in, what's happening? Because it's already on top, it doesn't matter. And I think that's really funny, and it's a good way to joke around with your magic buddies. All right, so here's a fourth tip for you guys. So how many times have you had a card on the bottom of the deck and you had to control it to the top with an overhand shuffle? The way you normally do that is this. You just start shuffling like this, and towards the end, you have to run singles until you have just one card left, right? That bottom card. And sometimes, cards can bind together, and sometimes you can accidentally slip a card and you can miss it. And also, it's quite tedious to do that, right? So, and people might be wondering what you're doing there, running single cards like this like a maniac. And so here's a way you can do that, run it to the top without running single cards. So here's what it is. It's still an overhand shuffle, but you don't have to run singles, all right? This is what it looks like. It's that quick and it's that efficient. And here's what's happening there. So you want to buckle the bottom card with your middle finger. And what I mean by that is this. So if you hold the deck like this in sort of a dealer's grip, you want to take your middle finger here that's on the corner and just buckle that bottom card like this. So what I mean by that, if you apply upward pressure and scoot it back like this, and really squeeze it, you want to apply that upward pressure with your middle finger and just move back with it, you can see that card buckling. And so as soon as that happens, you move it to a overhand shuffle position where you take that into a thumb break now. So you're just holding the bottom card in a thumb break from that buckle move. Okay, so you're here, you establish your bubble, your buckle, sorry, and you just take it into overhand shuffle position, getting that into thumb break now. And so now it's just pretty much shuffling to the break, but it's just the bottom card, right? So you're here like this, and then at some point just toss that bottom card on. All right. So once again, you're here, get that break from that buckle, and just shuffle like this. And at some point, maybe right here, just toss everything like this, holding on that one card. Boom, you've done it. So at full speed, it looks quite good. All right, so just like this. Okay, so the fifth and final tip that I have for you is controlling a single card basically wherever you want it to go. Okay, so you can do that with the overhand shuffle. So let's say we had a card chosen or looked at like this, the 3 of diamonds there. All right, so let's say I wanted it just on top of the deck, and I can do that with an overhand shuffle. There it is right there, the 3 diamonds. It looks that good. So all you're doing here is establishing a jog above the selection. However you want to do that is fine. And what I did there is I just did sort of a squeeze break like this. So I show a card where they put a card back, whatever, like this with 7 of diamonds. And as I replace these, I just scoop my fingers back like this on that card, the bottom card of this upper spread, like this. That way when I replace it, that card is becoming jogged now above that selection. So now it's the same thing as before, using that jog shuffle, right? Hitting that card and immediately shuffling off to the break like this, and now our card is on top of the deck. And that's just to get it on top. You can do the same move to control it anywhere. So let's say you want to control it, I don't know, 4 from top. It's all you got to do now is the principle of running singles. All right, so there's the king of spades, and now if we do this same thing, run to the break and just chop off a card, because the card's right there, or chop off a block like this and you do 1, 2, 3 on top of it, and then just shuffle off, do a jog, maybe cut to it, whatever. You can do it anywhere. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there's our card. I'll do that again and leave a card face up so you can see that a bit more clearly. Okay, so again, we have a card like the 5 of spades there. Do our squeeze move as we replace it, getting a jog above the selection. Now it's a matter of just doing first your necktie so they can't see the jog, and then hitting it as you establish the break, shuffle to the break like this, chop off either a single, right, or a block, it doesn't matter. And let's say we want it 5 from top, so boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we will become 5 from top now, and you can do anything at this point. Do another jog, boom, and then maybe a cut to the break, and then it's controlled 5 from top. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this video. It truly does mean the world to me. And so if you learned something new and if you got value from this video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.